The 22nd of March 1988, 11:40 p.m. Nevada desert. The highway outside Las Vegas looked empty for miles, but deep beyond the mountains, hidden behind armed checkpoints and dry salt flats, lights were still burning inside one of the most secret places on Earth, Area 51. Officially, it didn't exist. No signs on maps, no public records, no acknowledgement from the US government. But every night, unmarked aircraft landed there, military convoys crossed the desert in silence, and somewhere behind those mountains, engineers worked on machines the world was never supposed to see. For decades, America treated Area 51 like a ghost. The government denied it, pilots avoided it, and workers who entered the base disappeared from public life the moment they signed classified contracts. Families were never told where their husbands worked. Employees boarded anonymous white planes from Las Vegas before sunrise and returned after dark without speaking a single word about what they had seen. Even inside the Pentagon, only a handful of officials knew what truly happened there. And that secrecy created something dangerous, because when people are denied the truth long enough, they start imagining monsters. Area 51 was born during the Cold War, when the United States and the Soviet Union were locked in a silent race for survival. Washington feared Soviet nuclear missiles could wipe out entire American cities within minutes. The CIA needed a place where advanced spy aircraft could be built and tested far away from public eyes. In 1955, they found Groom Lake, a dead stretch of Nevada desert, surrounded by mountains and military land. It was isolated, empty, and almost impossible to reach. Perfect for secrets. Construction began immediately. Roads were erased from maps. Armed guards secured the perimeter. Engineers arrived under fake job titles. Within months, hidden hangars and underground fuel systems appeared in the middle of nowhere. Then came the aircraft that changed everything. The Lockheed U-2 spy plane. It could fly so high that Soviet radar struggled to detect it. During early test flights, civilians started seeing strange glowing objects moving across the sky at impossible altitudes. Pilots reported silver lights floating silently above clouds. Nobody understood what they were seeing, and instead of correcting the rumors, the CIA allowed them to spread, because UFO stories were the perfect distraction. While Americans talked about aliens, the government continued testing classified aircraft in complete silence. That was the moment Area 51 stopped being just a military base. It became a myth. As years passed, stranger machines emerged from the desert. Black triangular aircraft, silent reconnaissance planes, experimental bombers decades ahead of their time. During the 1960s, Area 51 tested the A-12 and later the SR-71 Blackbird, one of the fastest aircraft ever built. Pilots described the Blackbird like a weapon from the future. At top speed, its metal body became so hot that the aircraft physically expanded during flight. Witnesses across Nevada saw dark shapes tearing through the sky faster than sound itself. Once again, UFO reports exploded across America, and once again, the government stayed silent. But secrecy has a cost. Inside Area 51, paranoia became part of daily life. Employees were constantly monitored, phone calls were watched, conversations were controlled. Workers signed agreements threatening prison if they revealed classified information. Some engineers reportedly suffered mental breakdowns after years inside the facility. Others simply vanished from projects overnight without explanation. Nobody asked questions because everybody understood the rules. The less you knew, the longer you survived there. Then, in 1989, everything changed. A man named Bob Lazar appeared on local television in Las Vegas and claimed he had worked near Area 51 at a hidden site called S4. According to Lazar, the government wasn't just testing aircraft, it was studying alien technology. He described saucer-shaped craft powered by gravity manipulation systems unlike anything known to science. Most people laughed at him. Scientists dismissed him immediately. But something about his story felt disturbingly real. Lazar described security systems, underground hangars, and flight tests in ways that matched rumors circulating around Nevada for years. Overnight, Area 51 became the center of the world's biggest conspiracy theory. Tourists flooded the desert hoping to see UFOs. Amateur investigators climbed mountains with night vision cameras. Radio stations filled with callers describing mysterious lights over Groom Lake. The military responded aggressively. Armed patrols increased around the perimeter. Helicopters monitored civilians approaching restricted zones. Warning signs authorized deadly force against trespassers. Yet the harder the government tried to hide Area 51, the more famous it became. By the 1990s, the base had transformed into something bigger than reality itself. Some believed aliens were stored underground. Others claimed the US military had reverse-engineered extraterrestrial spacecraft. There were stories about hidden tunnels beneath the desert, vanished scientists, and experiments too dangerous for public knowledge. Most theories sounded insane, but the problem was this: the government had already lied for decades about the base existing at all that made every conspiracy feel possible. Then another dark secret surfaced. Former Area 51 workers started getting sick. Several employees claimed they were exposed to toxic chemicals during classified operations inside the facility. According to lawsuits, dangerous materials were burned openly in massive desert pits, while workers inhaled the smoke without protection. Many later developed cancer and severe lung diseases. Families demanded answers from the government, but inside federal courtrooms, something shocking happened. U.S. officials argued that discussing Area 51 operations would threaten national security. Even in court, the government refused to fully acknowledge what happened there. That response terrified people more than any UFO story ever could, because it proved one thing beyond doubt: Area 51 was real. And whatever happened inside that desert was important enough for the United States government to hide at any cost. In 2013, after nearly 60 years of denial, the CIA finally admitted Area 51 existed. Declassified documents confirmed it had been used to develop secret spy aircraft during the Cold War. For many people, that announcement closed the mystery. But for others, it only made the questions darker. If the government lied successfully for 60 years, what else was still hidden behind those mountains? Even today, nobody outside the military truly knows what happens inside Area 51. Satellite images show expanding runways and new structures appearing in the desert. Janet Airlines still transports workers from Las Vegas every morning. Security patrols still guard the perimeter 24 hours a day. And sometimes, late at night, strange lights still move across the Nevada sky. Maybe Area 51 is only a military testing facility buried beneath decades of paranoia. Or maybe the world's biggest secret is still waiting silently beneath the desert sand. The 5th of August 1997, 2:18 a.m. Groom Lake, Nevada. The desert was completely silent except for the sound of wind hitting the dry mountains around Area 51. Somewhere near the restricted perimeter, a former Air Force technician sat inside a parked truck with a military-grade camera pointed toward the sky. For weeks, he had been tracking unusual flight patterns above the base. According to him, something inside Area 51 only became active after midnight. No radio chatter, no warning lights, no normal flight procedures. Just sudden movement in the darkness. Then it happened. A massive triangular object slowly rose above the mountains without making a sound. No engine noise, no visible exhaust. Just 3 white lights glowing beneath a black shape large enough to block the stars behind it. The object hovered motionless for several seconds before accelerating into the sky with impossible speed. Years later, the technician would claim that moment changed his entire understanding of reality. But by then, Area 51 had already become much more than a military secret. It had become America's modern myth. During the late 1990s, the base turned into the center of global conspiracy culture. Documentary filmmakers, journalists, and UFO researchers flooded Nevada searching for answers. Small desert towns like Rachel suddenly became famous because they sat closest to the restricted zone. Motels filled with tourists carrying telescopes and night vision cameras. Bars sold alien-themed souvenirs. Entire businesses survived because people believed something non-human existed inside those mountains. And the strange part was this: the US government never tried very hard to stop the rumors. In fact, many former intelligence officers later suggested the alien theories actually helped protect real classified projects. Because while the public searched for flying saucers, the military quietly tested next-generation weapons far beyond anything officially known. By this point, Area 51 was believed to be connected to stealth drones, advanced surveillance systems, and experimental aircraft capable of avoiding radar completely. Some aviation experts suspected the base was developing technology designed for future wars long before enemies even understood such weapons existed. Then came the stories that made Area 51 truly terrifying. Former workers began describing underground sections of the facility hidden far beneath the desert floor. According to these accounts, elevators inside certain hangars descended into massive tunnel systems, connecting laboratories, storage areas, and secure research divisions. Some claimed entire aircraft could disappear underground within minutes after landing. Others described heavily restricted zones, where even senior military officers were denied access. Nobody could confirm these stories because every employee lived under extreme secrecy, but over time, patterns started appearing in testimonies from different former workers. Many described the same things. strange materials, unusual propulsion experiments, objects stored inside sealed chambers. Whether these accounts were real or simply exaggerated by fear became impossible to know, but the mystery kept growing. Then the internet changed everything. For the first time, millions of people around the world could instantly share theories, leaked photographs, and supposed government documents connected to Area 51. Online forums exploded with stories about hidden spacecraft and classified military experiments. Grainy videos showing strange lights above Nevada spread across the internet like wildfire. Every blurry image became evidence. Every missing document became proof of a cover-up. And slowly, people stopped trusting official explanations entirely, because history had already shown that governments were capable of hiding enormous secrets from the public. During the Cold War, the CIA conducted covert operations across the world without public knowledge. Experimental aircraft really had been tested secretly inside Area 51 for decades. Intelligence agencies really had manipulated information when national security demanded it. That reality made even the craziest theories feel possible. But behind all the alien stories and conspiracy theories was another truth most people ignored. Area 51 represented something far more disturbing than extraterrestrials. It represented power without visibility. A place where technology evolved in complete darkness, while ordinary people remained unaware of what was being created. Entire generations lived without knowing the military already possessed aircraft decades ahead of public aviation. Wars were influenced by technologies hidden inside the Nevada desert long before they appeared on television. That was the real fear surrounding Area 51. Not aliens, secrecy. Even today, the base remains heavily guarded. Motion sensors are buried beneath the desert sand. Surveillance cameras monitor roads miles away from the perimeter. Armed security teams patrol the mountains day and night. Pilots are warned never to enter restricted airspace above Groom Lake. And despite satellite technology covering nearly every corner of Earth, parts of Area 51 still remain hidden from public view. Occasionally, strange footage still appears online, showing lights moving unnaturally above the Nevada sky. Some videos are obvious hoaxes. Others remain unexplained. Former military personnel continue hinting that classified projects inside the base are decades beyond anything publicly known. Some believe hypersonic aircraft are tested there now. Others suspect artificial intelligence, weapon systems, or advanced drone warfare technology. And somewhere in the middle of all those theories sits one uncomfortable fact. Nobody outside that desert truly knows the full truth, because the people who do know are trained never to speak. Many carried those secrets into retirement, others carried them into graves. Files remain classified, records remain sealed. Entire chapters of Area 51 history are still hidden behind locked government archives, which means tonight, somewhere beyond those Nevada mountains, behind armed fences and underground hangars, lights are still glowing in the darkness. Aircraft the world has never seen are still moving silently across hidden runways, and whatever is happening inside Area 51 right now, the public probably won't learn about it for another 30 years.